beast!
We went and saw Godzilla, King of the Monsters. So this is the latest in a series of Godzilla movies. Who knows what number it is because Godzilla movies have been around forever.
But in this installment of Godzilla movies, it's the second one, right?
Yeah.
So the first one was called just Godzilla?
We guess.
I think so. You remember it? It was the big American Godzilla movie.
It's about
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
If you don't know what Godzilla is.
A really big, lizard monster. The history of Godzilla, and, so this concept started in Japan. It was after the atomic bombs were dropped. That's when it came about, and it was actually, a creative answer or way to deal with the devastation.
The atomic bomb being dropped on Japan.
On Japan, and how
I'll tell you what.
So it's really fascinating if you have time to dig into that.
If you haven't seen the original Godzilla movie, it's a classic movie that is excellent. Yeah, it is excellent. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Gojira. It's really, really a fantastic movie. Yeah. Anyway, so we saw this installment of Godzilla, starred Godzilla, but also a plethora of other, what they referred to in this movie as titans, other large creatures fed by radiation.
The most significant one is probably, they call him Monster Zero, and then also Mothra
is the opponent to Godzilla, and then Mothra, if you grew up watching Godzilla movies, is a popular titan from way back then. Go wait or skip.
Well, so if you love Godzilla movies, then go see this movie. It's I think, almost everything you want in a Godzilla movie, except that it's maybe not super great, right? You see what I'm saying? So if not, though, definitely at least wait to see this movie until it comes out. It's not a significant piece of filmmaking, but it's a big summer blockbuster Godzilla action-packed thing, and I really liked watching the movie.
So your recommendation is go/wait?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or skip it if you want. I don't know. I mean, I loved it, but I'm saying that, unless you love Godzilla like me, you probably don't want to see this movie. You know what I mean?
So mine's going to actually be go/skip. So here's the thing. If you want to see Godzilla, I think that you should see it at the theater, preferably in IMAX, with good sound. That's where I think you should go see it. If you are not interested in Godzilla movies, then you should totally skip this movie because it does not have a lot of other redeeming content aside from these large monsters.
Spoilers! Spoilers! So, I was really surprised that they would reference Skull Island in this movie and not have King Kong in it. What's up with that, filmmakers?
I feel like they didn't have the rights to show King Kong. But
they wanted the King Kong juice?
They wanted to say,
Come on.
they wanted to mention it. And then it made me wonder, I was like, are the recent King Kong movies part of this universe?
I was also really surprised that Thanos was in this movie.
Okay.
I mean, basically, the villain is basically Thanos, he thinks.
No. He doesn't have to have the ability to change time or
reality. As the belief structure of Thanos, we're
Oh, you mean the human villain?
Yeah.
Yes.
The human villain has basically that the world needs to be reset
and that's my biggest
and I'm going to do that from destruction. But let's talk about what we liked first.
Okay.
What I liked about this movie, Rachel, is that I felt like I was more connected to the human characters in this movie than I was in the first movie of Godzilla.
Yeah, the first movie was very much focused on the monsters and not on the humans.
Yeah.
And this movie, it's like they took some of that criticism.
I also liked the action in this movie of Godzilla. I thought it was better.
I thought it had more Godzilla, better Godzilla. Yeah, so if you love Godzilla, this was the movie. They did a great job, and I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Godzilla.
That's why you love me, because I like Godzilla.
I got all my Godzilla that I wanted in this movie.
Fan service galore.
And then to have the other Godzilla characters like Mothra, I don't know, they had other ones. Mothra was the big one there. It was just fun, and I thought they did an excellent job bringing with their CGI with the radiation because Mothra was just beautiful, and Mothra also had there was some connection there to it being a godlike being in that when it first metamorphoses sizes into from a larva to I guess essentially is a type
Mothra.
Of butterfly, but it's like a Mothra. It was so bright and glorious that people couldn't see, and that's always that kind of light I associate with God. And then Mothra at the end sacrifices itself so that Godzilla can conquer, so that they can conquer their opponent, which is Monster Zero, which is this 3-headed dragon-type monster.
Who comes from another planet.
So you had like a Jesus parallel there. So I thought that was very interesting in a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
They brought in an interesting concept that Monster Zero was an alien, that it wasn't part of the Titans and it wasn't part of this Earth. So it didn't respond to their technology to control the Titans. So that was just an interesting little tidbit they brought into this, and they didn't dive into it, which I thought was a good choice because you can only do so much in one movie, and they didn't do that.
What I didn't like about the movie is there were large portions of the movie where I didn't understand the choices of the characters, or really even I was like, what's going on? Like, why is this happening? Or why did this person do this? Oh, never mind, Godzilla's fighting a big giant thing again. I'm cool. It was like that.
Yeah. It was like all the characters were just there to make quick little remarks that would forward along like the story, but it was confusing at times, and it
reminded me of like a 1990s movie.
Like an early movie that was like, took place in space. Just have these side characters that just say things that maybe
they're more like characters.
Yeah, like they're like one guy was kind of like, I'm super smart and I know all this technology, but I'm also kind of witty and cool, and so I say the witty and cool things.
And then the T-Mobile guy there. No, it's Verizon. It's Verizon. He's the Verizon guy. He's kind of the annoying guy on Verizon commercials.
Oh, he was the guy. Yeah.
That we're always like, these commercials suck, and then like, probably because he's something about him. But they used that in this movie because he was that character.
Yeah, so he was unlikable. People didn't like him. Yeah.
Verizon does that on purpose. I don't know. No hatred to that guy. I'm glad that you're successful.
Yeah. And then, so what they did is they took a family that was apparently present when Godzilla destroyed San Francisco, I think it was, in the last movie. And they lost, they had 2 kids, and they lost one of their kids in that devastation. And so we start with this family at the beginning of this movie, but it's been many years later. Parents have split up, kind of. They're separated. They've been apart for a few years. The daughter is now, like, very much codependently trying to, like, keep things like, check in on her parents and make sure things were okay. Like the dad just ran away. The mom has gone off the deep end is what we find out later. And that's always where your comparison to Thanos comes in, is that she has essentially decided humans have destroying the earth, and so we need a reset, and we're going to have the Titans help us reset because we're going to let them just, I guess, unleash havoc on the earth, and that's what they're here for. And
to reset everything.
I created technology that will allow me to call them all up and control them. And, of course, her and her daughter get to avoid, dying in this devastation. But, anyway, I'm just kind of sick of that, whole storyline. Have somebody just be full out crazy. And,
it's
like, I feel like their villain, always has to take, this environmentalist perspective, and I'm just kind of sick of it. And here's the other thing that I'm sick of, because I hear people in my real life, kind of put down humans, that humans are wrecking everything and doing all this stuff, and I think that's just a bunch of BS. I think humans have done bad things, like all of us have, and done really amazing things the world over. Things that nature by itself on its own cannot do. Human beings have done amazing things between the things that we've built or the way that we are able to intentionally save things. We have parks, we have wildlife refuges, we have all this stuff that we do, and I guarantee you that the animals out there, they're not doing that.
Well, our dog Luke and Leia would do that if they had the capacity. Or the other alternative view is that people want to separate humans from nature when in reality we're all part of nature. And so I think that making up stories about how the world will be without us is just silly. It's like making up a story about how the earth will be without the moon. You don't know. That's not how things are. You're denying the truth of reality, I think, when you try to pick and choose what you have in a place and what you don't. We're all part of a whole. We're all part of a whole one. You know what I'm saying? How would humans be if we didn't have, I don't know, hearts? Well, we wouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? I think it's similar to that.
I get frustrated with the putting down of human beings.
We good, y'all.
We are at the top of the food chain for a reason. We have intellectual capabilities that the other animals like in the animal kingdom don't have. We've done amazing things with being able to do that. Like I look out onto the world and people are doing compassionate, loving, amazing things all the time. And I feel like some people just focus on a few things that are bad. And like, how did we know that like what we were doing, like if it is causing global warming, how it is, like all we can do is do better. So anyway, I get frustrated with that. There were some other like misses in the movie that just didn't like make sense. Like for example, the mother at one point makes a call into like her husband and the other people who are like, what the hell are you doing? So they're essentially her opponents in the movie. And she's like, goes ahead and clues them in on, you know, how she's a lunatic.
Classic villain mistake.
But she,
Here's my big plan.
while she tells them this, she also like has, I guess, clips at the ready to show how human
it was
beings
like a PowerPoint.
have been so horrible
that was
over the
clearly
years.
exposition for us.
And I was like, wait
Yeah.
a minute. This is like an end of the world scenario and you prepared like clips for them to watch like
Yeah.
while they're talking to you on the like I don't know, there was just all kinds of stuff like that in the movie that was just like too easy, was
Yeah.
just there. So yeah, it wasn't a great movie, but oh my gosh, if you love Godzilla,
Yeah.
like you get a lot of Godzilla and it's pretty great.
Yeah.
There's plans to make more. So
Yeah,
there's
'cause
an
they had an
after
end
credit scene that shows you where they might go. In
the
this
future, which
franchise.
I'm all about. Let's keep making these because I hope it makes a lot of money and I hope they make more of these because I love Godzilla.
Yeah. Hey, and we love you guys, so we appreciate it when you like, comment, and subscribe because it helps the channel grow. And we really like making these, and so if you like it, let us know.
Or if you don't like it, still like, comment, and subscribe.